Nicole Boone. Welcome to Conversations with Nicole. Today, my guest is Kingdivine. He is the Chief Executive Officer of Community Saviors out of Williamsburg County, South Carolina. King is also a fourth generational farmer and gardener. King says he created his nonprofit organization, Community Saviors, to promote self-sufficiency through gardening and agricultural education. King, welcome to my show. I'm so excited to have you. I know right now you're in Kingstree, South Carolina, but your farm is in Neesmith. But no matter what, you're in Williamsburg County. So thanks for joining me.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. That's correct. That's my family farm. It was founded by my great-great-grandfather, Gabriel Williams. So it's named after him, Gabriel Place. And my grandfather, David Williams, who I'm named after honorably, he started our great vineyard there in 1988. My father, Wendell Williams and Errol Williams, they are now managing the farm, and I assist with them with maintenance and managing the farm and the grape operations and every produce that we grow out there. I grow some, they grow some. We have our own plots, and we just continue off with their father's legacy and my grandfather's legacy.
I know you're very proud of that too, your lineage and your legacy with your farm in Neesmith.
Yes, ma'am. It gave me a determined idea as a young age because it already instilled me with skills and values that other people didn't have because everybody wasn't fortunate to grow up on the farm and everybody wasn't fortunate to sustain the farm as long as my family has in the tumultuous times that we were able to sustain it. So it gave me a sense of purpose, a sense of pride, and a determined idea to continue a legacy that was bestowed upon me even before I was a thought.
Oh, I love that. And of course, now you're sharing that with so many others, and especially children that are growing up in different areas that may not have good, healthy food. You started Community Saviors to help young people. Talk about that.
Yes, ma'am. Well, the nonprofit organization, Community Saviors, was started in 2017. I started it because I wanted to show local communities how to garden. Everybody in Kingstree knows me. When I was in high school growing up, I was a heavy-set child. I guess I would say in today's terms, suffered from childhood obesity. And then when I came back from college, a lot of people wanted to know what I did to change my lifestyle, what I did to lose the weight in a natural way, and what did I do? Because I didn't look unhealthy, I just lost a lot of weight. So I was telling them it's plant-based eating and growing my own foods. But a lot of us did not know how to grow our own foods because, like I said earlier in the intro, a lot of my peers around here weren't privy to grow up on a farm or grow up with gardening. So it was my duty to just show these skills to the youth around here because I know that it stuck with me as a young child. So I started Community Saviors on the wake of my grandmother's birthday. So the first garden, which I'm sitting in right now, is actually called the Garden of Edith. And I named it after my grandmother, Rosa Edith McClary. And I started this garden. And if you see, when I walk to
yeah, I would love to see it.
Yeah, I'm gonna walk to the head of the road because I planted Rosa Ragusa bushes in her honor because her honorable name is Rosa Edith McClary. So I have the Rosa Ragusa patch right here.
Oh, that's
which I grow rose hips where we make, I call it Edith jam, named after my grandma. So I call it Edith jam, but it's actually rose hips jam, where we make with the Rosa Ragusa plants. And I started with the rose plants first, just in honor of my grandmother. But my grandmother was actually a landscape gardener in her own right, and I used to help her out a lot too. So when she passed, this was like my way of paying homage to her and the skills she taught me. So that's why I actually expanded from the rose bushes to the garden you see behind me.
Yeah.
And if you look at the garden, I just grow a variety of fruits and vegetables. I got herbs as well. This is a lemongrass border right here. In the back, I have fruit trees. Right here, you see a variety of tomatoes. I got cherry tomatoes. We have Marians. We have purple bell peppers.
That's great.
See what else I can show. Oh, yeah, we got cherry tomatoes on this vine.
And so, King, you take this concept of a community garden and go to neighborhoods and teach them how to garden. It's really
yes, ma'am.
The rubber hits the road is showing them how to have ownership in creating good, healthy food in these neighborhoods that don't have them.
Exactly, because when I started, after I started my own, I got invited to the Iola Jones Park in Florence to actually fix their garden beds up because they had some abandoned garden beds. So me and a group of volunteers went there 2017, and we started planting peppers, tomatoes, sweet potatoes in those garden beds. And the community, because it's in a housing area, a residential area, the community patrons of the area, even though I wasn't from around the area, they embraced me. The children came out and learned how to garden, and they learned how to maintenance it. So I actually just started the garden in 2017, and I took another year back in which I donated plants. And then after that, they actually just self-maintained. And that's what I wanted to do, because I wanted them to get the skills for themselves so they can maintain their own garden. So it was beauty to see that the garden is still going on. They took the skills and the lessons that they learned to continue on growing their own gardens.
How does it make you feel? Like, what's the coolest reaction or the coolest result you've seen from helping these people plant their own gardens? I mean, it has to be so rewarding.
Yes, it's rewarding. The coolest result I seen students learning where their food comes from. A lot of young children don't know that, for example, they don't know peanuts grow underground. They don't know potatoes grow underground. So when I harvest a sweet potato or I harvest a peanut and they see that it comes from underground, it wows them. Even onions, tomatoes, just seeing them see that they're, another thing I like to see is when individuals assist and they see the fruits of their labor. It's community saviors. We not only install gardens, but I go around and I assist anyone with gardening tips. And I have people that I assist with gardening tips, started their garden. And this year they're showing me the pictures of their garden, let me know that they appreciate everything I had, showed them and everything that we've been doing, because they took the tips and they flourished themselves. And and I also like going to the schools and teach young people how to basically do a farm to a fridge or a garden to grub, as I call it. So we get certain things like tomatoes, cilantro, bell peppers and hot peppers, and we make our salsa in front of them. And just to see them embrace eating plant-based or eating healthy foods that they grow themselves, that's one of the most rewarding things to see.
Oh, I can only imagine. And so in addition to the nonprofit, where your farm is located in Neesmith, you also allow people to come in and take tours, and you have had festivals there in the past. Tell me about that.
Well, yes, ma'am. The festivals were actually an idea of my aunt, my grandfather's oldest child, my aunt Cassandra Williams, and she started the festivals. I want to say in 2000 and let's say early 2000s, she started the festivals. And from that point on, we've been doing an annual festival to bring people to see my grandfather's work, her father's work. So the festivals are Labor Day weekend, but we offer farm tours towards the end of this month and during July when we're in harvest, because my father, my uncle, and I, we also plant other things outside of the grapes. We maintain the grapes and make sure they're done before the festival. However, we have other produce such as peanuts, squash, watermelons, eggplants, asparagus, things out there, cabbage, brassicas, that we also harvest and sell ourselves. So the farm tours are geared more towards seeing the whole farm in totality, from my father's chicken coop to the vegetables we have in addition to the grapes. And then during the festival time, that's when we actually are surrounded around we're focusing our energy on our cash crop, which is the muscadine grapes, in which my grandfather started in 1988. And he started it on a plot, like a small plot, and we expanded it. And it's like up to 7 acres of muscadine grapes. And everybody, we have people from all over the world that's been able to grace our land, from Asia to India. We also had some not family members, but some co-workers from the Caribbean islands come through. And it's always been a great experience for them to see local farming, for them to be able to pick their own produce, for them to just see us in action and see that these skills are not lost skills, that we still have individuals in the world that know how to grow their own foods and take pride in growing their own foods.
100%. I love that. And just tell me how folks can find out about the farm tours and events coming up. Where would they go for that? Is there a website?
Well, for farm tours, I'll be posting information on my website. But if you want to actually stay updated on a daily basis, or just ask me or request one, you can follow me on Facebook, which is the Community Saviors.
Okay.
You can also do Instagram, Community Saviors, and Community Saviors 7 on Instagram. Both of those accounts are mine. And you can also do Twitter, Community Saviors, as well. So I have social medias if you want to just request the farm tour.
Okay.
They aren't actually scheduled. We'll just have a time frame in which the farm is open for the farm tours, and anyone interested in the farm tour can call and schedule, and I have everything prepped. And one thing we're doing with the farm tours this year is after you tour the farm, we're going to create a meal from the farm, such as an omelet with the farm-raised eggs and the peppers and the onions from the farm, or I may have a salsa, or I may have a pizza that's made with the tomatoes, the peppers, the onions from the farm. So it's things like that we're excited to share this year when we're coming on the farm tours as well.
Okay, like I'm so hungry right now listening to you talk about all that good food. Hey, I'll tell you a little tidbit here. I was 12 years old and I worked on a farm in my community, and my job was washing squash, cucumbers, and also waxing the cucumbers before they went to the store. And toting buckets, and they were out of the garden. So
yeah.
I know how hard work it is. It's hard work to do.
Yeah, that'll keep you in shape. And I know you had to wear them gloves too, because them squash leaves and the cucumbers, they get prickly and stuff. So I'm pretty sure you had to make sure that it toughened you up. Gave you some calluses on your hands.
It does, but I didn't work near as hard as you work to keep your farm and your nonprofit going. Listen, I've seen some pictures of your produce and the things that are happening in your nonprofit and in your garden, and I'll just tell you what, it's amazing. You really are carrying on a legacy that was started by your grandfather, and I know he's looking down from you because he has passed, correct?
Yes, ma'am. He passed away, but before on his deathbed, I tell him I had him. Me and him had a conversation right before he took his last breath, and I told him I had him. So it was always, like I said, before we met in person, I had a determined idea based off his actions. And then when he actually expired in the physical, it just gave me more motivation to continue it because he had already did his part to show me how to do it.
Yeah, well, I just love your story. We could talk for hours upon hours, but I know you've had a long day and it's time to wrap things up where you are. Is there anything that you would like for my viewers to know as we close out this conversation today?
The viewers just need to know that I appreciate the support. I would like for you to follow us on YouTube, any social media sites that I named, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. We have all three. And you can also follow us on our website, communitysaviors.org. We are a legitimate nonprofit 501(c)(3). If you want to donate, you can donate through the website. All donations are taxable, basically, so you can reclaim them on your taxes. And we have the system I have in place. As soon as you make the donation, we'll have an invoice and a receipt sent to you that you can use for your tax services and all. So we're looking just to expand as far as just being able to assist more on the garden and in the farm. So anything that you can do to assist and help our mission to educate, empower, and improve low-income areas of South Carolina, I really will appreciate it. And that's all I would have to ask for your audience. Just make sure you follow us because I like new followers. I like to teach people new things. And I like meeting new friends.
Me too, King. And I like what you say. There is no culture without agriculture. And
yes, ma'am. There's no culture without agriculture. I got that from one of my mentors. So that quote stuck with me as well. So there's no culture without agriculture. My late grandfather's moniker was Daddy Ag. Because he was an agriculture teacher that was like a father to the students of Neesmith. So they call him Daddy Ag. Yeah. And right now, elders of Neesmith call me Daddy Ag Jr. So that's what we're trying to do. We just keeping the legacy going.
I appreciate your time today. It's been a real joy, a real delight. Keep up the great work. Thank you for what you're doing to educate young people on the importance of growing fresh fruits and vegetables and really understanding where our food comes from. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Miss Nicole, for having me. I really do appreciate it.
You bet. All right. Well, folks, that's going to do it for this edition of Conversations with Nicole. Until we see you again, we hope you have a great day.
Thank you, guys.